Hi there, and welcome to another Wine Steward video. We're going to try to keep this one nice and quick, but we do have three really cool things to tell you about. One of them is right in front of you. Actually, it is cooling. It's not cool yet. This is fresh baked bread of my own making, and instead of doing Spanish tortilla or tortilla española this week, because I couldn't get up all that early yesterday after Wednesday's Bordeaux event, I decided to bake bread instead. And so here's the bread. We can do this on the WineBar. How about that? For, I think, $3, we'll give you lots of slices of the country sourdough that some people like around here. So anyway, there is that. We can do that on the WineBar for you, and we will talk about the WineBar theme in a minute. But just as importantly, or maybe even more importantly, is the fact that next week, we've barely announced this, so let's officially announce it. We are doing our annual Nickel and Nickel event. Our friend Terry Bancroft will return to show the wines of Nickel and Friends, I should say, because what Nickel and Nickel is in fact one winery among a group of wineries, including, as you may know, Farniente, and how about this, En Route, some of the most beautiful Pinot Noir made in California, En Route Pinot Noir right here. That will also be featured. We'll be pouring Farniente Cab, I think 4 different single vineyard Nickel and Nickel Cabernets. Dolce is certain to happen, the beautiful dessert wine. And so I'm calling this event Nickel and Friends, but they're all related. They are all presented on Wednesday night, next week, by our good friend Terry Bancroft. So why don't you sign up today? I believe some people already knew about this, and so we're half full already, but there should be about 9 or 10 seats remaining. So head to our website, thewinesteward.com, sign up for the Nickel and Nickel event. It is a very time of the year appropriate event. This is when we get into the fancy stuff, right? And we start to get in the mood for holiday feasts and the wines that belong with them. And certainly these are worthy candidates for the holiday table. Nickel and Nickel, En Route, Farniente, and so on. Next week, delicious, delicious, delicious. I talked about the bread, let's talk about the wine bar. You know what's really convenient about our wine bar themes this weekend? They all utilize this glass right here. You may have known already that we've gotten really deeply into loving this particular glass. This is sometimes called the New World Pinot Noir glass. It's fantastic for Syrah, Northern Rhone Syrah. It's fantastic for Barolo and Barbaresco from Northern Italy. It's especially beautiful for Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. So we are going to do, for the first time ever at the Wine Steward, something ridiculous, an all Chardonnay flight. I know that doesn't sound ridiculous, but maybe we just think that variety is taken for granted. But why don't we examine one great grape variety? That's right, I'm calling Chardonnay a great grape variety. 5 different ways. Among those 5, let's see, what do we have over here? Hey, why don't we start in Burgundy, because we like those. And this is a Petit Chablis from Northern Burgundy, so 100% Chardonnay, no oak at all, pristine, bright, a beautiful demonstration of the local terroir, which is prehistoric seabed known as Kimmeridgian limestone. That's happening in this glistening, bright, anti-buttery Chardonnay. Pretty cool. And then we're gonna do another Burgundy, but we're gonna go farther south where it's a little bit warmer, to the village of Rouy, which is in the Côte Chalonnaise. That's just below the Côte d'Or. And this just has a little more generosity, but it's still super refined and elegant. Now, big gear shift stylistically. What are we gonna do? We're gonna leave Burgundy and come all the way back home. Let's do Wood Family Chardonnay. We never put them up here, why not? Let's do this. This is delicious. I believe Rhonda Wood and her team over there at Wood Family have gotten better and better at this Chardonnay year by year, vintage after vintage. This has improved. It will never shed its house style of richness and bigness, but it's doing it better and better. It's got good acidity along with the big body. So if you want a generous cocktail style Chardonnay, look out for placement number 3 on the Wine Bar flight. Number 4, what are we gonna do? We are going to lighten up a little bit, but not too much. The next 2 wines, the final 2 Chardonnays of the Wine Bar flight, all Chardonnay flight, are these 2. This is Hartford Court. It's the new 2020 vintage that just arrived in the store. We're unveiling it this weekend. And here is Walter Hansel's Cuvée Alice Chardonnay. Walter Hansel is it's a contiguous estate, you could say, where several Chardonnays are made off of his estate, but they're from different blocks on his property. And Cuvée Elise, named for his mother, is his finest Chardonnay that he might not make every year. He only makes it when the Chardonnay is going to be fantastic, emulating his fantastic mother, I assume. And Cuvée Elise just landed. This always gets rockin' scores from the critics at large, and we love it. It's generous, but it's thoughtful generous. It really emulates the so-called cult-style Chardonnays like Kistler and Aubert and things like that, but doesn't cost quite all that much. So, Walter Hansel Chardonnay Cuvée Elise is the final wine in the Chardonnay flight. Now, what shall we do with Pinot Noir? Yeah, I said there's going to be a Pinot Noir flight. Thanksgiving's coming, right? We're getting in the mood. Every wine bar weekend between now and Thanksgiving is certain to have fantastic Thanksgiving wine suggestions. And so many people think of doing Pinot Noir with that meal. So why don't we just examine that grape variety thoroughly with a wine bar flight of Pinot Noirs? We are going to begin in the Santa Cruz Mountains. This is from Falcon Hill Vineyard by Odonata. This is delicate, but thoughtful, fragrant, beautiful, and affordable. For a great Pinot Noir, it's good price, good price. So let's take it up a notch, shall we? And show you, actually I have it right here. This bottle's better than the one back there because this one's open. We have this beautiful brand new wine called Assiduous. This also comes from the Santa Cruz Mountains. I think that's one of the most interesting places in all of California for Pinot Noir. We just don't do it often enough up here, so let's do it twice. Two different Santa Cruz Mountain Pinot Noirs are starting off this Pinot Noir flight. As you can see, it's not all that dark in color, but some people would say that's pretty authentic for the grape. It doesn't have to be potent in color, it has to be potent in character. So smell this stuff and be transported to a vineyard near Corralitos, which is south of Aptos in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Lovely. Fruit and tang. My mouth is awake. And frankly, I love this label. This is one of the best looking labels on our shelves right now. Kudos to them for their brilliant label design besides a gorgeous Pinot Noir from the Santa Cruz Mountains. All right, where shall we go from there? I don't know. What do we got? What's back there? Let's bring these out. Aha, we're gonna bring this back. I describe this wine, whoops, wrong one. I describe this wine as being somewhat like standing in front of the open doorways of two adjacent stores. One is an old-fashioned candy shop with all the glass jars in there with hard red candies in there. And if you can imagine walking into one of those, maybe up in Sutter Creek or some other gold country situation, and the smell of an old-fashioned candy shop. Well, let's say you're pulling back, you're outside the doorway because you want to smell from another doorway too. Right next to that is what? Victoria's Secret. How about that? What do I mean by that? Because this has a beautiful fragrance of kind of sachet, the little gizmo that might be in a lingerie drawer. I would know nothing about that, but it has that, and it has the beautiful like red, hard red candy. It's not a sweet wine, but it's so beautifully fragrant that way. It's I don't have it in my glass, but I will pretty soon. This is Brewer Clifton. It's from Santa Rita Hills. It's a really beautiful, deft, vibrant expression of what happens down there in Sea Smoke or Sideways Country, or whatever you want to call that appellation, sub-appellation of Santa Barbara County. Brewer Clifton. Beautiful Pinot Noir, folks. Now, another newcomer that's just got here. What do we have here? This is Keller Estate. Keller Estate up in the Petaluma Gap area. In fact, this label finally says Petaluma Gap on it. They couldn't a few years ago, but now this area that they've always been calling it the Petaluma Gap is officially designated as a sub-AVA of Sonoma County. Petaluma Gap. A lot of wind flies through there and kind of upsets the Pinot Noir grape to the point that it grows a smaller berry and thicker skin and more urgent flavors. Sometimes I say urgent or energetic, and it happens in this gorgeous Keller Pinot Noir. Lovely stuff. There should be one more wine. Is there? I don't know. I can't find it. Hold on. Oh, this is really embarrassing. Okay, here we go. Wrath. Our old friend. Why do we do Wrath so often? Because so many of you love it, and frankly, to get a decent price on it, I buy 5 freaking cases at a time. So that's quite a heap of inventory sitting down there. So why not bring it to the wine bar all the time? After all, we're getting so-called wine bar pricing on this wine, so you know, we should honor that relationship and get it on the wine bar every once in a while. You love this. This is a great finale to the Pinot Noir flight because it's got a little more richness to it, a little more darkness of fruit. Beautiful stuff from Wrath, from the Grapes of Wrath area of the Salinas Valley. Actually, it's where the Salinas Valley is just about to become Santa Lucia Highlands. They are literally across the street from being able to call their stuff Santa Lucia Highlands. I think they should move the boundary over a little bit, because these guys make thoughtful Pinot Noir, not just one, but several. They are specialists of Pinot. Now, of course, we have a couple of options other than Pinot and Chardonnay. We want to mix it up for you. So one thing we're doing is a sparkling wine of the week. And believe it or not, the grapes for this wine called Sauvage, a no dosage wine, sparkling wine, as you can see, the grapes are grown in Oregon and in New Mexico. Yeah, this is a product of Cruz. Cruz was originally a New Mexico winery that was founded by a French guy who came to California and said, land costs too much here, and besides, I don't like what I'm seeing. I want to do sparkling wine in New Mexico of all places. And so that was 20 or 30 years ago now. And here is Sauvage, a kind of a branch, a offshoot wine from Cruz. Really nice stuff, bright, dry, vibrant, beautiful fruit, good stuff. That's our sparkling wine of the week. Affordable, good stuff. And then we are offering a non-Chardonnay for those who just simply will not look at Chardonnay. Let's do a bright white for you in the form of Yerman. That's how you pronounce it. Looks like a J there, but as I've been told, it's Yerman. This is from Northeast Italy. This is up in the Friuli area of Italy, and it's beautiful stuff, nice and clean. I hear the back door. That means there's a delivery. So I'm going to wrap this up by saying I screwed with my program by including this. You can buy a glass of D2. This is Washington State Bordeaux inspired red wine. We bought the last 2 cases of 2018 D2, and you can enjoy some of this wine up here and in a Bordeaux style glass. So, oh well, so much for using New World Pinot Noir for everything, but we'll put it in this because it's appropriate for a Bordeaux style wine. Last 2 cases available of a perennial favorite of the wine steward, DeLille Cellars D2. D2 is the name of the yellow route that traverses the left bank of Bordeaux. Okay, I'm coming, dude. All right, guys, I gotta go. Have a good one. Thank you. See you at the wine bar. See you at the Nickel and Nickel event. Bye-bye now.